You are watching a master at work.
What's happening, people? It's Steve Merkel here, or Merk for short. Hope y'all are having a wonderful day so far. Today's video is going to be my first impression slash kind of a review, I guess, on Evolve. I've played a good bit of Evolve, probably 50 hours, and I think I've got a good gist on the game. And, you know, this video is basically going to be my general thoughts on it, what is bad, what needs some work, and, you know, just generally what the game is about and what it entails. So let's jump right into it. First off, the game is pretty unique. I mean, it is a first-person shooter, and but that is where, you know, the similarities stop in commonality between other games. That is pretty much the only mechanic that is borrowed from other games. Is just you're in the first person of the character, and, you know, you shoot things. Now, basically, there are 4 characters: a medic, support, assault, and trapper versus a monster. And there are 3 types of monsters: a Goliath, a Kraken, and the Wraith. Now, the gameplay you're going to be watching in the background is a multiplayer gameplay where I am the Kraken, and I'm playing against the assault, support, medic, and trapper. Now, you can play, you know, custom games, which are basically, you know, you versus the computer, and you can be the monster or any of the 4 characters, the 4 human characters. Or you can play multiplayer, which is online. And if the matchmaking, this is one of the bad things. The matchmaking online is pretty bad. Sometimes it takes a while to get a game. When it's running good, and you'll just get games back to back to back, and it'll be good for hours on end. But when it starts messing up, it keeps messing up, and you will have a lot of trouble getting a game. But I spend most of my time playing multiplayer online, and basically you get to choose, you know, do you want to be the monster, or do you want to be a human? And what it does is it finds, you know, people that will be what you aren't. So say you want to be the monster, it will try to find 4 humans. If it can't find 4 humans, the computer will take over that specific. So say it finds 3 humans and you're the monster, and it couldn't find that 4th human, the computer will play as that 4th human until it can find another player. So mid-game you might get one, and most of the time, you know, it works out. The computer is only taking over a human for a couple minutes at the beginning, and then, you know, a human jumps in and plays. So if you select multiplayer, it's not like Titanfall to where, you know, you're playing against AI. For the most part, you are playing against actual humans on the other side of the screen, you know, unless you choose custom, in which case you're playing against all AI. Now, your goal as the human characters, you know, the trapper, assault, support, and medic, your goal is to basically kill the monster, right? Simple enough. And each character has different abilities that they use to their advantage. You know, the trapper has a bubble he can throw down. The assault can take a lot of damage, but he deals a lot of damage. And, you know, assault basically wants to deal the aggro and get the monster's aggro. The medic revives people and keeps their health up. And support does things like, you know, can throw traps, can, you know, shoot the monster through the wall, can tag it. You know, everybody has, all the 4 human classes are quite different, and they're pretty interesting. You can play as different ones and not get bored. And each class, I should say, of human has 3 subclasses. So the medic, in which they're differentiated by actual people, you know. So if you choose medic, there are actually 3 different types of medics you can choose, all totally different. If you choose support, assault, and trapper, you know, it's vice versa. Each one of those things has 3 different subclasses. So really, you know, it's four classes, but there are actually 12 subclasses that you can choose from. Each, you know, are very different and take their own time to master. Now, as the monster, your goal, and, you know, there's different game modes, but the main game mode is hunt, in which you get like a 20-second head start, and you want to kill and eat the wildlife, which there's actually a crap load of wildlife just scattered all over the planet that you're on. And they can hurt you, they can hurt the hunters, but your main goal is to basically kill the wildlife and eat the wildlife. Once you eat enough wildlife, you can evolve. And your goal is to get to the 3rd level of, you know, evolution, I guess. So you start at 1, you eat a little bit, you evolve. And each time you evolve, you get a buff. You can, you know, spend your points whenever you want. Each monster has, you know, a couple abilities that they use to attack and, you know, do different things, go invisible, stuff like that. And your goal is to get to the 3rd level, evolve 2 more times. Once you spawn in, you know, you start at 1, you eat a little bit, evolve, eat a little bit, evolve. And then once you get to the 3rd stage, you've evolved 2 more times. Then there's like this power relay that you have to destroy. So basically the hunters are chasing the monster the whole game, and then you'll hear, monster has reached, level 3 and evolve. And then everyone can go to the power relay, and the monster's going to try to destroy the power relay, and the hunters will try to kill the monster. Now there is a time limit on each round, each map, I guess, each match, but it pauses a lot. Like if the hunters and the monsters are engaged at all, the timer will pause. So basically this can take as long as possible. Rounds can take 5 minutes, rounds can take 30 minutes. In the background, the gameplay is actually a pretty clutch gameplay and a pretty competitive gameplay. It was actually a really fun game. I'm the monster and the hunters get me weak. I escape, eat some armor, they get me weak. They're tracking me the whole time. It's pretty intense and it's very different. But most of the time, the power relay never really, comes into play. The basic gist of the match is kill or be killed. Most of the time it comes down to you killing the hunters or the hunters killing you, plain and simple. Or not killing you, I should say, the hunters killing the monster or the monster killing the hunters. Now, I really like this game. It is a great game. If you have the money to spare, you should definitely get it. Even the upcoming DLC is supposed to be awesome the way they're doing it. They give you the modes and the maps for free, and if you want to buy the DLC is just basically more characters. But anyone who plays and buys the game gets the maps and modes that come with it for free. It's just the characters that you're buying. I like that a lot. Now, don't get me wrong, there are problems with the game. There are some the Wraith monster is absolutely overpowered. It needs so many things need to be nerfed with it. Like the Goliath is more like a forceful monster. He has a lot of health. He deals a lot of damage. The Kraken is like can fly and can shoot things out of you from the sky, and it's like supposed to be this, I guess, electric monster. And the third one, the Wraith, I guess he's supposed to be like a stealth monster, right? He can like teleport, go invisible, and all kind of stuff. And no other monster beside the Wraith can go invisible. The Wraith has this thing called a supernova, which is spammable, and no other ability is spammable. With the Goliath and the Kraken, none of their abilities you can just hit over and over again, right? They recharge. And the Wraith, you can just spam supernova pretty much over and over again, and it deals so much damage. So the Wraith definitely needs to be nerfed, and that is one of the things that really frustrates me about the game. When you play a Wraith over and over again and he's just beating you, it's obviously flawed and broken. That's one of the big problems. There are some things like the stamina for the hunters needs to be increased big time. Some of the abilities for the hunters need a huge buff. There's some balancing issues they need to work out, but overall this is a very fun game. You can lose yourself in hours in this game just learning all what different classes do and how to play, each class. If you're Assault, you need to be in the fight, getting the monster's attention. If you're a medic, you need to be away from the fight, just using the heal gun. If you're the support, you need to stay by the Assault so you can shield them. If you're the trapper, you got to be right on the monster and throw the shield, And it takes a lot of time to master these. And it's just, it's really immersive. Now, there's no campaign. It's strictly versus AI or versus other people, which I don't really like, because a lot of the stuff, you really need explanations for, and they don't really do that with a campaign or anything, That is one of the things I don't like about it. But, like I said, overall, it's a very fun game, and if you don't have it already, I definitely recommend getting Evolve. Especially if you have 3 other friends, to play with you. It is much funner. It is much more fun when you go in there with a group of 4 friends, and then you face a random human monster, a multiplayer game against a monster, and it's like you're beating them and he comes back. It's much more fun with 4 friends, and that you're making call outs, and it gets really, really intense. So especially if you have friends to play with this game, a full team, 4 friends that will buy this game with you and play it with you, I would 100% get it. It is a great experience. Alright guys, that wraps up today's video. Please leave a like if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you'd like to see more. Also feel free to let me know what you think of the video, or ask me any questions in the comment section below, and invite me if you were on Evolve. I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Later, daters.